Cardi B was out here. It's in the Patreon.
I thought you were saying just Witty had them things out. I was like, hold on a second. I might got to break my fast.
Tastemakers.
Class. We do more than make a living. We make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers. Alright. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living.
So the topic that we did that one. The topic we're talking about now is MLK. Well, no, we actually let's try to stay in the relationship vein. So the next topic at hand was, can your significant other like and or follow provocative accounts on social media? So let's say he's scrolling and he see Cardi B, he see Megan Thee Stallion, Megan rocking them things back and forth. Cardi got them yams out, and your man is double tapping. Your man is double tapping. Them thumbs is tired. Is that okay? Is it okay for your man to be double tapping? Or fellas, because I done seen a couple pictures of the game slinging his man situation all over the place, and I'm like, sir, put that thing away. Why are you on the internet with that? And but can your girl, if your girl see that joint, that listen, I'm trying to be as PG as possible, but that thing, he could go fishing with that thing, and she double tapping on all them pictures. Can she? Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yo. This is a great question. And I feel like it depends on the security of the guy and their relationship. When I say security, I mean opposite insecurity, right? Because I have confidence that I am who I am in all parts of life. You feel me? So you doing that, I'm going to say, no, it doesn't affect me in a way where I don't care. You feel me? Like, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, like it's TikTok. That stuff isn't real life to me. Like, you're not going to meet them. You're not gonna you're not sliding their DM. If all we talking about is just a tap, then I'm not too mad at it.
Yeah.
But if that tap is leading to other stuff, then we may have an issue. You feel me?
Yeah.
If you're trying to, give the yams away and you trying to set up link ups and you try to do all that stuff, then that may be an issue. But then again, on the other hand, I feel the other part of that where it's like, yo, why you all up in homies? You know what I mean?
Hey, Trisha.
So I feel the joint. Wait, what happened? What? I seen something about Just Witty. What happened?
He said Just Witty set fellas up for failure yesterday. So that's where this conversation came from.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Up for the Gram yesterday. There's a video attack that Cardi. It was like a parody that Just Witty did. She's like, I saw you like Cardi B's thing, and Cardi B was walking around. Cardi B had on a thong, booty was out, cheeks was out, and she was like, you liked it, but when they zoomed in on it, all you saw was Cardi B booty in the background jiggling. And he was like, yes, Trish, I cut my hair. And people so Lost and Found is like, Just Witty set dudes up for failure yesterday. Them things was out. Cardi B was out here. It's in the Patreon.
I thought you were saying Just Witty had them things out. I was like, hold on a second, I might gotta break my fast. Just hold on. Wait a minute.
You need sanctification, Corey.
I had to clarify. I'm a work in progress. You feel me? I'm a work in progress. Nobody
did not have her things out.
Good. Make sure she keeps them in.
I don't think if he likes a picture and he don't know, well, so it depends on the pictures he's liking, because my thing is, I'm not mad that he's liking the pictures because of the girl. I'm like, yo, do you got a lust issue? Because if you have a lust issue,
right,
we need to talk about because at some point that lust issue gonna be a problem for me.
Well, let's talk about lust real quick. Hold on a second, real quick, because we define a lot of stuff as lust and it don't be lust.
Sexual lust.
Right. No. That's what I'm saying. If I see a girl with a nice figure, I can say, man, she got a nice figure.
Right.
Lust happens when I say, yo, what I want to do to that figure. That's lust. But I can look at a girl with a nice body and be like, man, she got a nice body, but have no kind of sexual reaction to it.
One look is a glance. Two looks is a gate.
Okay. I feel that.
So how many looks?
But we acting like we can't see beautiful women or we're lusting. That's not
at
the
all.
case.
Listen, today somebody sent me an account and it had somebody said all day my sister's been sending me videos because they already know I want a salt and pepper stepper, right? I need a dude with a little salt and pepper in his beard. He need to be good and grown. Okay. I need me a salt and pepper stepper in 2024.
We know.
So she sent me an account and it was nothing but it was like a literal parade of like grown men with salt and pepper in their beards. I'm not lusting after them, but they was all, I mean, it was like 15 of them and they was all fine. And I was like, child, where is this again?
But that's pictures of beards. I'm talking about.
It was grown men. It wasn't just their beards. They were all dressed in suits. It was like a parade of men. They was like,
but they don't got their shirts off. Like they not flexing.
They don't.
So I'm saying naturally, the woman's body is attractive because they have parts that men don't have. So there's a sexual lust for sure when you look at a woman that can happen. But there's also, you can just acknowledge the beauty of her body without lusting. So that's why I agree with you when you said one look. What would you say? One glance is what?
One look is a glance. Two looks is a gate. You're about to walk through some stuff.
But people will say that me even looking at it, glancing at it, would be like you're lusting, and that's not true.
Well, so let's think of the thing with social media. In order to double tap it, you'd have to observe it, right? So you're not glancing on social media.
No, you
don't.
Just
scrolling. What?
You can scroll and double tap.
If it's a video, you're watching the video.
Oh, a video. Got you. I thought you meant a picture.
If it's a picture, you look at the picture, you can tap it and keep scrolling. So, but my thing is like, how many of those accounts are you following? Like, if it's a fluke, like, and does this girl have her cheeks out like Cardi? Is the girl out with a booty in the thing? Like Cardi had her cheeks. Out.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do you like that? Like, I understand why you like that fundamentally as a man, but as a believer, I'm expecting you to scroll on by. Listen, I'm not looking at pictures of the game swinging his lightning pole all over the internet. I'm not liking that joint. I'm gonna keep scrolling. I'm not gonna like it.
Lightning
because
pole
I don't want to give room for that thing, right? So how many of these accounts are you liking? How many times do you wear your thumbs out double tapping? Do you have a lust issue? Is there an issue with sexual lust that you need to address? But if it's somebody that you don't know and you double tap it, I'm not mad at it. I'm not. Is this somebody we know? Now, if you double tap at somebody we know and she posted thirst traps and we know shorty, it's like, hey, wait a minute now. Ain't enough degrees of separation for all this double tapping you doing. What's really going on? I got questions.
Can we the same
way?
I
did not bookmark it, Charles. I did not. I promise you, I did it. I actually unfollowed him after that post. I unfollowed the game completely.
Is the woman just as responsible for what she wears to quote unquote entice men to do that? Just as much as the guy is wrong. Like, are the wrongdoings equal?
Oh yeah, I'm not saying she's not. I'm not saying she's without responsibility, but she's not in my face right now. She is on the gram.
Yeah,
you are in my face right now, and I'm telling you, we know this girl, and just because she's sitting her booty on the sink, don't mean you got to double tap it. Scroll by before we have to have a conversation, and I get my oil and this Bible and this music, and I lay you on this floor and rock-ka-ka all over you until you get delivered. I am prepared to do that.
I put a rock-tak-tak all over that too. But I want to say something else, but I want Bree to hop in real quick. Bree, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I agree with what y'all said. I just think that if it becomes one of those things to where it's like you have to hide and scroll, like I can't walk past you with your phone out, then it's no longer innocent anymore. Now it's a problem. So like randomly liking a post, like that's no issue. But if you start following 100 accounts and this is what you do in your spare time,
that's different.
It's crazy.
It's a sport now.
Hey, look, not for nothing. I'm not. Well, never mind.
Amen. I'm glad you stopped.
All right. So here's my.
So
here's my question. This is going back to the conversation that Thizzle brought up when he was rebuking everybody. When he was talking about, there's a reason, or it should be a shame. It's a shame that female Christian artists can't go on tour with guys because, you know, of the whole, well, he framed it as dudes can't control their lust issues, right?
Mhm.
As I'm still thinking about that conversation and I'm thinking about, you know, the words that he was saying, there is a natural attraction between guys and girls. If you
Right.
are, if you, and it's not, it don't even have to be I like you, but it's just an attraction that men have to women because that's how God made us, right? So there is, so I think, so although what Dizzle was saying, there's truth to it. Is there this responsibility, a bigger responsibility that women have to help guys control their lust, because we're the ones typically that fall into that category? And I don't know if this is right or wrong. I'm just posing the question, because if women are the ones with the parts that are more out there than the guys' parts, our parts are most times covered up and you can't really lust after them, right? But women got the bang bang boom all in our face,
Right.
and that's just y'all dressing regular. That's just y'all in sweatpants and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's so naturally you're not even showcasing it, I would say. But it's just, it is what it is. Like Shorty's body could be crazy and she's not even wearing provocative clothes. She's just wearing regular clothes. So the question is, do women have the responsibility to help their brothers not lust?
I think it's our responsibility to guard one another's hearts. I think hinging the sanctification of men or hanging the sanctification of a man on the shoulders of a woman is unfair.
Right.
And a lot of churches do that. They hang the sanctification of the brothers on the hemlines of the sisters, on the necklines of the sisters, and say, you have to keep your brother from stumbling. I think the greater conversation is, do the brothers see women as more than their parts? Have the brothers have their minds been redeemed and sanctified so that they see women as whole beings, not just booties and breasts?
Sure.
That's the larger. I think that's the
include faces in there too, because faces can be very beautiful. And we lust after a face.
You can, but has a man been delivered from? So we can agree that sex is that a lot of us were met with the perverted version of sex before we were met with the sanctified version of sex or attraction or sexual behavior.
Absolutely.
So then the question is that has that behavior been addressed? Has deliverance taken place? Is there accountability to keep you from regressing back into that state of mind before you start engaging and encountering sisters?
So me recognizing a pretty woman and recognizing that she has...
No, they can't come to church in gray sweats, lost and found. Continue. No, they cannot. I have rebuked men on the mic for that same behavior. Like, I've rebuked men in public for that.
Yo. So what was I gonna say? So let's use not even a sexual part of a woman's body. Let's use her face. Let's say she has a pretty face. And that's the first thing I see. I don't see anything else but your face in that moment. And I am very attracted to you because of how you look from the neck up, right? Do I need a sanctification from that? Do I need a new mind from that? Do I need the same, whatever you're saying I need?
If looking at her face triggers sexual response from you, yes.
Got you. Okay.
If you look at her face and you think, oh, I want to put in her, like if your brain automatically goes there, you absolutely need to be delivered. Because why is that the first place your mind goes with a woman who is made in the image and likeness of God? I'm not policing your wardrobe, lost and found. I'm saying don't be bouncing around on the altar. Don't be bouncing around the church with your gray sweatpants on. If you're going to put on gray sweatpants, put some Under Armour under them sweatpants and hold that thing down. Tape it to your leg if you have to. It don't need to be bouncing around in the sanctuary is what I'm saying.
You got to get some performance draws. Performance draws work good. I got some on right now. They hold everything together.
Keep it together. And I say the same thing to women. Don't come to church on Sunday jiggling everywhere. I don't need you. We don't. The Bible says clap your hands. The only thing that should be clapping is your hands in church, sis. Put stuff on and hold all of that together. Do you understand me? Everything shouldn't be bouncing and jiggling. You shouldn't be jumping and everything is flying all over the place. Get all of that together. They got plenty of shapewear to get all that together. I'm not just coming from the brothers. All across the board. Sis, put on a girdle. Sis, put on some Spanx. Bruh, put on some Under Armour. Don't be bouncing your body parts around here because we're not here to look at y'all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it's just too crazy. You can't hide it. Like, it is what it is. Like, I know girls like that. It don't matter what you wear. Like, it's just.
I'm saying, in as much as you can prevent it. You may have a big booty and you may have big breasts, but you also have the ability to put on a girdle, some Spanx, and a really good supportive bra. You might be able to go fishing with that thing, man of God. I'm saying we don't need to see it. We don't need to see it on Sunday. That's for your wife.
Chill.
Listen. Let's not act like we don't be seeing it in church. Men be wearing jeans so tight that you could count their sperm. Listen, bro, put on some real pants. Them pants is too tight.
I ain't never.
They're too tight. Y'all wearing stretchies and onesies to church and wondering why y'all in sin.
Yo, you stupid. So let me pose this question to the panel. You know how, like, the Bible says that, like, women are the weaker sex, not in, like, strength, but just strengths too, but in, like, other areas, right? I think when it comes to the whole lust thing, men are clearly the weaker sex. When it comes to like we fall into that way more than women do. Like, that's a known fact. When it comes to lust, it's typically talking about men. Like, there's a whole like I feel like that's a thing. So with that, how do our sisters help us with our lust issues without restricting them from wearing regular clothes or from being regular human beings and trying to dress fashionable and nice?
Right.
Because, like, if we got lust issues, we're gonna find a way to look. We're gonna find a way to imagine.
Well, I'm going to answer your question, but I want to address Lit really quick. She said we can't push them away because of what they wear in that moment, or else we may push them away from God who led them from the club to the church. Now, that's a completely different situation, Lit. I'm not talking about unsaved people. I'm not talking about people walking off the street into the church, because I've been in churches where girls walked out of, they literally climbed down off the pole, put on them little dresses and stumbled into church. Those are women who don't know the Lord. Those are men who don't know the Lord. I'm talking about believers. Men and women of God who have confirmed their salvation, who have made their calling and election sure, and don't believe in putting on the proper undergarments underneath their clothing. That's who I'm addressing. Unsaved people, I can't expect y'all to. I'm not expecting an unsaved person to behave like a saved person. That's not fair. To address Corey's situation, I think men ought to be honest about their lust issues. I think men ought be honest with the fact that they struggle with sexual lust. So let's not treat it like you don't struggle with it. If you struggle with lust, say something. I tell my sisters in the Lord all the time, strategize for your weaknesses. Like, strategize so that you are not defeated by your weaknesses. So, for instance, when a woman goes through a menstrual cycle, them 10 days leading up to when she actually gets her period, her body is on fire. Her body is sending out pheromones saying, make a baby, make a baby, make a baby. You probably shouldn't be around brothers during that time. Any of the brothers. You probably shouldn't be hanging out with the brother. You shouldn't be with nobody, but no brother by yourself. And you certainly shouldn't be in the company of men if your body is on fire and ready to make a baby. You got to strategize for that, but you got to first be honest about it, right? Be honest. Like, I struggle with lust. Like, I really want to get it popping. Say that. We can help what we know. When you hide and know and buttoned up and trying to act like you ain't struggling with it, meanwhile, you are looking at sisters and all you see is them naked, even if they got on moo-moos. Right. We can't help. Like, we can't do anything about that because we don't know what's going on. We're not psychic. We only know what you expose to us. And so we can only help where you have given us space to do so. So if you struggle with lust, one, you should be around the brothers more than around the sisters, right? Like, you should get a team of brothers who you can be transparent and accountable with. If you can, and then once you're transparent and accountable with them, they can consistently help you, buffer you, strengthen you, rebuke, encourage, exhort, whatever they got to do so that you can see sisters rightly, because chances are you saw the perverse side of sex before you saw the godly side of sex and sexuality. Right. So you need brothers that help you with that. I can only help you in as much as I can make sure everything is taped down and tucked away and neatly, and neatly, everything is neatly packed in and there's nothing jiggling all around, and my neckline is respectable and my hemline is respectable, right? Like, I'm not painted on, I've got stretchies on, I'm not coming to church with no drawers on and crazy stuff like that. I've seen girls do that.
Yeah. I hate that for y'all though.
I can do that. there is a responsibility that I have to my brothers, and that I know y'all are visually stimulated before anything else. So I'm careful. I'm very careful with the things that I do. I am a top heavy girl. I don't wear things. My bras hold me down. I don't wear things. I'm not jiggling. My necklines are not low. I don't do anything to entice the brothers in that way. If you're enticed, it's because you think I'm fine, not because I have my joints out.
Got you. But like, so when you talk about this stuff and you say this stuff, it seems unfair for you guys to actually have to do that as women, because the world would say, you know, like, no, I'm not doing that because you got less issues. Not even the world. Some Christians would say, I'm not doing that because you got issues. Like, I shouldn't have to police myself because you can't handle yourself. I think that was one of the themes in Thizzle's rebuke from a lot of people. But we saw a lot of females, a lot of women were agreeing with what he was saying. So is this something that you take on as you become more spiritually mature as a woman? Do you take on this idea, I have to protect my brothers because I know that they can't handle it? Or is this ideal that you had way before you were even thinking about Christianity? Like,
it wasn't until I became a
just
believer.
Based off knowing men and women?
Yeah, it wasn't until I became a believer that I saw men as brothers. Because before I saw men as brothers, I saw them as potential dating things.
Nah,
potential
but you
things
got to marry one of those brothers. You're going to be giving it up to one of those brothers.
Right. Understood. But until then, I have to view them as people who God made in his image and likeness. He's not just body parts. He's not just a wallet. He's not just somebody who tells me I'm pretty.
Yeah, but
he
made people that aren't
hands.
He made people that aren't Christians. He made people that aren't Christians in his image and likeness too. But you don't call them your brothers.
Because they have not translated over from darkness into light.
Yeah, but you distinguish the two by Jesus made him in his image and likeness. That's what I'm confused on.
So when I say that, I'm saying that as a means of not just looking at them as parts, but a whole, right?
Gotcha.
Like a whole person. They're not just individual parts. He could very easily be in church with gray sweatpants on and bouncing around. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, look at his sweatpants and be staring at him. I'm going to go to him and say, hey, sir, I know that you enjoy your sweatpants and they're comfortable for you. And it is apparent that you are well endowed. I would like to admonish you, though. Next Sunday, could you please show up with some Under Armour under those sweats, or you're going to have to start wearing jeans to church? Because the sisters saw that thing from the back of the room, and you're enticing your sisters.
Wait,
I'm holding y'all accountable the same way.
That's a thing for y'all?
Yes. What do you mean is that a thing for us?
I didn't know.
If a man pulls up in church with gray sweatpants and we see stuff bouncing around his pants, all the girls are like, oh, snap. Like, if you're saved, you're trying to look away. If you're not saved, you're like, all right, how many DMs does it take to get this nigga to my house?
Nah, I didn't know that y'all was visually stimulated in that way, the same way that we are when we see bang, bang, boom.
Ask Joseph. Ask Joseph what he went through.
Listen, Potiphar's wife was like, hey, yo, that thing hang right. I'm gonna get that nigga right there. And Joseph ran. He had to run from that girl. He had to run from her. And he had to run she ripped his tunic. That's how she was like feverishly like lusting over Joseph.
It's just because he was uncircumcised. That's it.
Child, that ain't got nothing to do. Ain't got nothing to do with it. He was as the old saying, he was a tough piece of leather, well put together. Do you hear me? He was fine.
As soon as he chopped that foreskin off, it was over.
Oh my God. First of all, no. Because Joseph ends up having bad kids, does he not? Like when his brothers finally see him in Egypt, he's married with a gang of kids. So he's still fine. He's still fine. Because when they finally bring Reuben and Benjamin, he got a crap load of kids and he's married and he's the second in command. He's still fine. He just got a wife now. And his wife gets to appreciate his fineness on a regular basis. But yes, it's a thing for women. We can see y'all and be visually stimulated too.
Got you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What's the chat saying about this stuff? They saying anything good?
I said, when I said I was going to pull to the side and say, sir, it's obvious that you're well endowed. Shaw said, all he's going to hear is you're obviously well endowed.
That's it. That's all we go here.
Oh, that is so horrible.
And we're going to say, praise God.
Right. And they come back to church next Sunday with no drawers on. Like, I just can't. Like, so one time so let's see what else the chat is saying. They got mad at Erica Campbell when she had on a turtleneck dress that went down her ankles. Right. I can't, you can't do anything about Erica, but Erica wasn't jiggling around either. That's the thing. Erica had on things underneath that dress. Everything was tight, even though that dress was, they dipped her body in white paint, but she was still covered up. She's a curvy girl.
Yeah.
I'm
Both
saying,
Marys are.
but all them kids are curvy. They mama, who is like 70 something, is curvy. Everybody in that family got hips and thighs. Okay.
They mama kind of skinny though.
They mama is thin, but she is curvy.
Okay.
She a thin, curvy woman, like tiny little waist, and then her hips fly out like that. And I'm just like, oh, so y'all all built, that's just genetics. Y'all built that way.
That's the African.
That's just what it is. Some people got it and some people don't. I can't be mad at the Campbell family because all them girls is built like brick houses. All I can say is make sure you got Spanx on that brick house when you step in the church house, so you're not jiggling and clapping while you walking up the aisle. You don't need to be clapping anything but your hands, sis. Ever in church, ever.
Man. I mean, of course I agree with you, but I think it's unfortunate that y'all have that responsibility on y'all.
Y'all do too. Y'all just don't.
Yeah, but nobody really cares about our responsibility. Like, it's more of a thing for us looking at y'all in that way. Like, that's more of the conversation typically. You know what I mean?
I think it's just because men confess that men have been more demonstrative, or it's been more highlighted that men struggle with physical lust, but there are women who struggle with physical lust as well.
Sure. Nah, I know, because girls be seeing this face. They don't know how to act sometimes, Key. This beard be growing.
I mean, you also flirt really hard with people, Corey. Like, you flirt like you flirt like that's a part of your pastoral job description. So there's that. There's that. Okay.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Bree, any last words on this topic before we go to the next one?
I think this one is covered.
Let's hit this next one.
Mother said next.
Let's hit this next joint. What we got?
Tastemakers.
Class. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers. Aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living, we make